Welcome to the Explainer. Let's talk about stress. I mean, we all know what it feels like, right? But what if you could actually manage it using simple, natural methods that you're totally in control of? Well, today, we're going to break down a really practical guide to do exactly that. So let's just dive right in.
We're going to kick things off with a pretty heavy statement from our source material. Stress is the #1 diagnosis in America today. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That's not a small claim. It really frames just how huge and widespread this issue is.
Okay, so what is stress really, when we get down to it? The source gives a great, simple definition. It's just the body's response to a threat. And that threat can be totally real or something we just think is a threat. It's basically your body's built-in alarm system, right? The one that gets you all fired up and ready for action.
All right, so that alarm bell starts clanging inside you. But what's actually happening in your body when it goes off? Let's peel back the layers and take a look.
This is so fascinating. What you're seeing here is the fight or flight response in action, and it's all about trade-offs. Notice how everything you'd need for immediate survival, your heart rate, blood pressure, adrenaline, it all skyrockets. But at the very same time, your body hits the pause button on anything that's not essential for escaping a tiger, So things like digestion, your immune system, even the healing process, they all get sidelined. It's pure survival mode.
So what happens when that survival mode is switched on all the time? And that's where this number just blows my mind. According to the guide we're looking at, is staggering 75 to 90% of all trips to the doctor, they're for problems tied back to stress. That is just wow.
And that brings us to a super important point. A little bit of stress, that jolt you get before a big presentation, that's not the bad guy. Our bodies are built for that. The real problem, the thing that's sending everyone to the doctor, is that chronic, just never-ending stress. It's when that alarm system gets stuck in the on position and just won't shut off. So that begs the question, right? Where does all this chronic stress actually start? Well, our source material points to one place, that incredibly powerful connection between your mind and your body. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? A great deal of sickness which afflicts humanity has its origin in the mind. It's this idea that our mental health isn't just a side note, it's often the very root cause of our physical health issues.
And this all leads to the core principle of this entire explainer. Look, you're never going to get rid of every single stressful thing in your life. That's just not how the world works. So the real game changer here, the whole point, isn't about trying to create a stress-free bubble. It's about learning how to manage your reaction when that stress hits.
Okay, great. So if it's all about managing our response, how in the world do we do that? Well, this brings us to the most practical, actionable part of the guide, what the source calls the 8 controllables. And this is where we get into the really good stuff, the practical, detailed instructions on what you can actually do. And here's the list. What I love about this is that it's not some magic pill. It's a whole life approach. You've got the physical stuff you'd expect, right? Nutrition, exercise, water. But it also brings in things like getting outside, practicing moderation, temperance, and even your spiritual well-being. It's the whole package for building up your resilience.
Let's take exercise, for example. How does this actually work? Well, it's pretty cool. It's basically simple body chemistry. When you're stressed, you're flooded with hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. When you move your body, you're literally burning through those exact hormones for fuel. It's like you're giving them a job to do, and once they're used up, your body can finally relax. It's a natural release valve.
Okay, get ready for this one. This instruction is so simple, but it's mind-blowing. Our guide points out that being just half a liter dehydrated, that's not very much, can actually increase your cortisol levels. Think about that. Just by being a little thirsty, you are physically putting your body into a state of stress. How easy is that to fix? And it's the exact same story with rest. The guide highlights that most of us need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. When you're even a little sleep-deprived, your patience wears thin, you get irritated more easily. It's a simple equation, really. A tired brain is a stressed-out brain. All right, let's go a bit deeper on one of the most powerful controllables on that list, nutrition. The source actually calls this your natural medicine cabinet, and we're going to get into some really detailed instructions on how you can use food as your first line of defense. So why is nutrition so important? Well, because being stressed is hard work for your body. It's like you're running a marathon you didn't sign up for, and you're burning through all your essential vitamins and minerals at a crazy fast pace, depleting the very things you need to stay in balance. All right, so let's pop the hood on that natural medicine cabinet. First up, Vitamins. Our source points to a few specific ones that are absolutely crucial when you're under pressure.
Here's the lineup. Think of the B vitamins as, like, high-octane fuel for your nervous system. They're critical for your energy and mood. Then you've got vitamin C, which is a powerhouse antioxidant that actually helps lower your blood pressure. And vitamins A and E? They're like your body's personal security team, protecting your cells and keeping your immune system strong.
All right, next on our list, minerals. And these guys play a super direct role in hitting the brakes on your body's stress-out response.
Okay, so magnesium is the star of the show here. The guide literally calls it the anti-stress mineral. It's like a fire extinguisher for all that adrenaline coursing through your veins. And it's got a great supporting cast: calcium and potassium to help with blood pressure, and zinc to help rebuild your immune system, which, remember, takes a big hit under stress.
And last but not least, in our natural toolkit, the guide walks us through a few traditional herbs that people have used for ages to calm down and fight stress.
And what's cool here is that they serve different purposes. You've got something like Siberian ginseng, which is what's called an adaptogen. It helps your body get better at handling stress over time. Then you've got the more immediate chill-out crew, like valerian root and chamomile, which are famous for helping you relax and sleep. And skullcap is mentioned specifically for that frazzled, nervous tension feeling.
So this all ties back to a really profound idea, which is summed up perfectly in this last quote. It is a law of the mind that it adapts itself upon the things of which it is trained to dwell. What does that really mean? It means your mind becomes what you focus on. So by deliberately focusing on these things you can control, what you eat, how you move, how you rest, you can literally retrain your brain and body to respond to stress in a healthier way.
So that leaves us with one final thought, a question just for you. Looking at this whole list, what is one of these controllables you could bring into your life like today? Not tomorrow, not next week. What's one tiny, super achievable step? Maybe it's drinking one more glass of water or taking a 10-minute walk on your lunch break that you can do right now.